Hey, so I thought I would come on to talk to you guys. I keep being drawn, and I've tried to do this video and I've started it over, and then I've tried to do it again and I've deleted it. And it seems like everything that I do or what I say is either I'm saying too much or I'm not saying enough that I feel like is going to be understood. So I'm going to say this quick prayer before I start this, and then hopefully this will be said this time exactly how God wants me to say it. So, God, use my tongue to say the words that will help someone else, allowing my lessons, my revelations, and my growth to expand someone else seamlessly in their life. Ashe. So, everybody, I've been channeling a lot about love and returns of love and the epiphanies that's associated with love and the path of fulfillment as well as acknowledgement. And I just got finished doing a read not too long ago in between me trying to send out this message. But here's what I've learned. Nobody is perfect. And people say that, and then it's like we get in situations and we expect them to be a certain way or react to a thing or a situation a certain way, and when they don't, it's like it's something wrong with them. And I'm not saying to settle for anything, because here's another catch-22. Although we are all one and we're intertwined in some forms, oftentimes we are not. Oftentimes other people's place of hurt, sometimes they are at a place where they are intentionally going out to hurt people. And if that's not your stilo, then move around. Sometimes people are hurting so deeply that they can't see their own wounds. And if that's not your stilo and that's something that's too much for you in a place in your life, move around. I'm not saying any of that. But what I am saying is we're all intertwined. And for you to acknowledge one person's hurt or their efforts of trying to heal those hurts are amazing. And I had a situation recently that I love someone enough that when they exposed how I looked to them or how my behavior affected them, even though I was looking at what they did and how they made me feel, and I looked at the whole situation, I could see their hurt in the situation. I could see from their perspective how I could have possibly hurt them. And I also had the opportunity to love them enough to honestly reevaluate myself. And I did a lot of rah-rahing and and I usually do because that was always my defense mechanism. But to love someone enough that what you're doing makes them uncomfortable, and you actively doing what's necessary to change that is true love. And if you've ever wanted to experience true love, start by acknowledging the love that you have for yourself and understanding the intertwinings of a person's hurts with yours. Because I'm going to use this as an example, because I'm not going to talk much about that situation, but I am going to say this. If your way of dealing with things is to shut down and close off, or even be the runner in a situation, and someone else does the same thing, acknowledge that. Don't you the problem. Because you do the same thing, but the way that you do it, you got a little extra spice on it. It's a little kick. It looks a little different, but it's still the same thing. And a lot of times we are so invested in seeing the other person that we can't see ourselves in that other person. And I'm not saying to do something extreme like go and, understand or see yourself in your abuse. Like, I'm not saying none of that. Like, don't take with my words and take them to the extreme. It's none of that. But what I'm saying is, and because here's the other thing, if you love yourself enough, when somebody shows you that they're no place and you're not wanting or willing in your life to deal with that, or you can acknowledge their hurts, but it's like you stay over there with that, that's self-love. That's true love. That's unconditional love for oneself. And sometimes, regardless of how much we love people, setting that boundary of you stay over there and deal with you and your problems, and I'm gonna stay over here and deal with me and mine, is another form of true love. And not just for oneself, but for that other person too, because you can't help everybody. And sometimes you acknowledging what somebody is doing could only create a place of more stagnancy, more that I'm seeing a kid like put their hands in their ears like la 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 like that. It's like they don't want to hear it, because sometimes our delivery is not the way that person needs it at that time. And oftentimes we don't necessarily know what that other person needs. We're just saying what we see and moving on. And somebody might need some compassion. They might need a hug. They might need a good cry, or they might need to just have a listening ear. But to understand yourself, and what you're going through, and understanding the intertwinings of what makes us all one. So what one person is dealing with or going through is oftentimes the same thing as somebody else. And if it's not what they've been through now, or it might not have played out the way exactly like that, it's like, I acknowledge that you on level 3 on the game. I ain't on level 3, but I could tell that you on level 3 because I done seen that board. I done seen that environment. I know those obstacles that you are facing. And I love you enough to let you try to move through that by yourself, because it may take longer if I try to explain that to you. And then other people, you might need to explain it to them in a way of whatever you feel as if, or you might need to just ask them, like, what is it that you need from me? Like, how can I help you on this board? How can I help you on this level? And oftentimes, if a person is very self-aware, they can tell you what they need. But they might be like me, where they are so used to dealing with things on their own that if you don't ask, I ain't telling you. Because I can do this by myself. I done showed myself time and time again that I'm the beast. I got this. But if you don't ask, you don't know. You know, like, don't worry about it. If I can't depend on nobody, I can depend on me. And with that mentality, oftentimes we shut out people that truly want to love us and truly want to be there. And I'm going to be honest. I had a situation, that guy that I was just telling you about, when he made that comment to me, that shit hit deep. That shit hurt. Because, one, it was like, dang, I'm trying to be here for you. Well, I'm trying to, you know. And then, also, I was able to acknowledge, like, I get it, though, because, like, I've been there. But I also know that, and it took me to stop talking to the person for me to realize that, yeah, I've been there, but at the same time, I'm also at a place where I don't want to be there no more. So, I hope that what I've told you and I hope this was helpful in some type of way. I don't know what way, but I hope it was helpful, because I've been getting a lot of energies of relationships, and I was really guided to say this, and I hope that it helps. I really do. All right, until next time, namaste and blessings to you and yours.